number 3. Not one word answer.
So we tackle question number 5 and 6.
Mike is here. Mike is here.
Mike.
We discussed question number 5 and 6, and as a group, we debated quite a bit, but the final consensus that we converged on was yes, mind is a matter. It's a continuum of thoughts. However, it is subtler that you cannot touch or feel, but you can sense it. And mind is a more of a something that you can live with it. You know it's there because it's creating all this activity in you, and depending on what you strive for, positive affirmations, it will keep that train of thoughts going. And that's where meditation comes into play, where you channelize that thought pattern. And mind is the track on which these thoughts propagate.
Very good. Thank you.
So, second question for our group was how much and what is the influence of the thoughts I get unprompted from the world outside on the quality of my thoughts. So we understood this question that how much we are getting affected with our surroundings, with the people with whom we keep company with, and then we came to the conclusion that yes, we get affected with our each little thing is affects us, and then based on that, like how we discussed, like what we can do about it, and examples came like if it's a satsang leads to learn and grow, and man is known by the company he keeps. We were just discussing that where we move and what we think, even offline, decides what kind of people we are going to meet. Because if we harbor not good thoughts, even if we are not in anybody's company, we start getting more and more of such experiences. So, although it looks like it is unprompted, but they are not completely unprompted. And the other important point, what we came to an agreement that the control is always within us. We keep getting all kind of, because everybody is doing whatever they think is right and justify for themselves. It is we keep perceiving it differently based on our innate tendencies and how much we work on ourselves, on our thoughts. So.
Okay, thank you so much. Group number 1.
We have the first 2 questions. If I am constantly thinking of God, is there a need for meditation? And we all agreed and discussed in our group that absolutely there's a need for meditation, but from a discipline standpoint, to find a place of peace, to be able to control our thoughts. But more importantly, a question came up, or part of the discussion was, what are we meditating on? Are we meditating on our deity? Are we meditating on formlessness? And just to be able to prepare our mind and to concentrate and to internalize the teachings would be the ultimate form of offering with our mind. We offer with our hands, we offer with our service, we offer with food. But to be able to offer with our mind and our thoughts would be why we would want to meditate on God.
Thank you. The second question is food control important for spiritual growth? Why the celebration of festival is there so much emphasis on food? So the first part is depends. At the same time, my own reflection is it is important. And what I mean by that is the kind of food you eat reflects on the kind of thinking you'll have. If you eat sattvic foods, the kind of thoughts that generated in your mind is significantly far better than otherwise. And that's in my own personal journey, like what I've reflected is my quality of thoughts have gone up, quantity has reduced. Every time I just think about something, like I can think through the situation, be like a clear thinking in terms of it's basically I attribute that towards the kind of food I eat, going back to sattvic food. And that's been my reflection. And we had some good discussions around it, and Anil Ji did influence us saying it's the gross, what we eat is a gross food, and at the end of the day, the gross food that you eat impacts at the subtlest nature in terms of what kind of a thought that it generates. That's one part of it. And the next question is, in the celebration of festival, my reflection and the group reflection, one is as a community we love to eat, and this is when you have festivals, you bring a lot of food. Fortunately or unfortunately, emphasis is on the festival, but folks focus on the food. So that's one part of it. But yesterday Swamiji did mention about vasanas, prarabdha and purushartha, and he gave example of the vada. It's like focus is so much on the food, at least it drives people into the temple or in any places of rituals. From that, it influences people towards going towards at least the purushartha part of it. Okay, it helps as a community. You can share in terms of your own reflection. Hey, look, food brings people to the temple, but now you get a beautiful set of folks with good satsang around it. That helps you to shape your thinking eventually. So from that angle, that is our collective response.
Okay, thank you. The definition of dhyana, meditation, is given to us by Swami Tejamayana in his composition, Dhyana Swarupam. Dhyanam nama swarupasya sahajam bhanamucchate naitat karma vishesham va sagunopasanam japaka. Dhyanam nama, meaning what is known as dhyanam is, meditation is, swarupasya sahajam bhanam, spontaneous, effortless abidance in one's own self. Na etat karma vishesham, not it is any particular activity. Saguna upasanam, na, it is not worship of God. Na japaha, it's not japa. Which is to say that whether we are worshipping God for any particular form, or doing any seva activity or karma, or doing any kind of japa, these are all preparations. Meditation is a noun, not a verb. Gurudev said very clearly, just like sleep is not an activity. Is sleep an activity? An action? If you are sleeping, if I ask, are you sleeping? Do you say yes? Are you sleeping?
No.
No. If you are sleeping, if I ask, are you sleeping? Is it like walking? Are you walking? Yes, I am walking. Are you eating? Yes, I am eating. Are you sleeping? Yes, I am sleeping. If you are not, then you are not sleeping. So it is a more of a state you reach than an activity. All activities may probably reach you there, but that activity is not the state. So the meditation is to be understood properly as not an activity to be done, but anything that you do as activity to purify the mind, etc., are all leading to that state. So even thinking about God is not meditation. That's what I'm trying to say. It's still an activity going on there, of thinking. Just like in sleep, you don't think, but you are in a state of oneness with yourself, calm and peaceful. But only thing is, there you are aware of that fact that you are relaxed. Only after waking up, you say, "Oh, I had wonderful sleep," etc. Whereas in the state of meditation is a place where you are not engaged in any kind of sensory activities. You are not engaging in the act of thinking or judging or opinionating or planning. So in the state of sleep, we are not doing anything related to senses, the word, mind, intellect, ego, personal opinion, anything of that kind, but we are not even aware that we are aware. So Gurudev calls it, the meditation, as objectless awareness. There is no object, anything to think about, but you are aware. It is like entering into a room where nobody is there and say, "There is nobody." Is it a person you are referring to, nobody as a person? It's you are referring to an absence. Right? You are referring to an absence. That referring to an absence is possible because you are present. Yes or no? Can you see the absence of things when you are yourself absent? When you say that there is nobody, you are there. Similarly, awareness is present, but nothing to be aware about. That is the state of meditation. Whereas sleep is where you close your eyes and say, "There is nobody." Think about it. Yeah, nobody, because you have closed your eyes. So where the objects were not recognized as present, while you are yourself is not present, meaning you are yourself not aware of your own presence. That is a state of sleep. There is a discussion, a lot of discussion on Sushupti and Swapana, on Sushupti and Samadhi. In those, the discussion takes place in that way. So, is practice of devotion a deviation from mind's habitual thinking? Should it be practiced as an escape from the mind? Because he had a question, Anveshak, when I am thinking about God or doing worship of God or japa, etc., as prescribed by Shanti Das, he was only wondering whether I am trying to escape myself from the mind. And that's why when he got agitated, he went to Damayanti and asked, "How do I keep my mind quiet?" And she gave the techniques of quietening the mind, how to meditate, how to do japa, etc. But then he always wondered, is it that I am trying to escape from my mind? How long I can escape? So never use devotion or japa or any of these prescription given to us, even puja, as an escape from the mind. You cannot. You have to face it at some point of time. Even sleep is a temporary escapism from the mind. And those who can't sleep, then they take a sleeping pill also. One person took a pill and then went on breaking the corners, before eating. Why are you doing that? He said, "I don't want any side effect." That's a stupid joke, but anyway, it's not. So you're taking sleeping pill, no doubt will put you to sleep, escape from your problem, but then when you wake up, it is going to be there. Added to that is a side effect. So one should not use any of the religious practices as an escape from the mind, especially if you do that, you cannot go to the next level called meditation. And it is important at the same time, That when you are ready to meditate, we'll come to that later, you should know what to meditate on. People, when they say, Swamiji, I want to meditate, good, very good. But what do we do there? What do we do there? Don't do anything. Oh, okay. And then? And then what? Don't do anything. Mat karo, don't do anything. I used to tell this joke to everybody. One of your, let's say you called your friend also to come for this talk, and he said, no, I have a lot of work to do. बहुत काम है. हिंदी में क्या? बहुत काम means? Too much work. You know why बहुत काम है? Because you have बहुत काम है. Too much of desire. Too much of desire you have. काम हिंदी में इसका कर्म, while in Sanskrit it is desire. मेरे मन में बहुत काम है, इसलिए शरीर में बहुत काम है, इसलिए मन में काम नहीं है. English काम नहीं. So if you have a Hindi काम, if you have a Sanskrit काम, you'll have Hindi काम, but not English काम. So meditation is not a calm. It's not an activity. This is the mind is getting ready to reach a point of awareness with no object. See, for example, if doing karma yoga, practice of karma yoga is what? No doubt, nobody can work without thinking about the result. But while working in the result, let go of the anxiety about the result. That letting go of the anxiety itself is a practice. जो होना है होने दो. I will do my best. यद्यद् भाव्यं भवद् भगवन् पूर्व कर्मानुरूपम् एतत् प्राप्त्यं मम बहुमदं जन्म जन्मान्तरेपि. In Mukundamala, Bhagavan Krishna was addressed. He says that whatever has to happen according to my past, let it happen. I will do my best. Oh Lord, give me that blessing. Yatyad bhavyam, to be what is going to happen, bhavatu bhagavan. Let it happen, O Lord. Purva karma anurupam, according to my past karma. Etat pratyam, this is my prayer. Mama bahumadam janma janmantari. Even for many lives, give me that awareness. So when you practice the karma yoga, where your anxiety for result is reduced, mind is calm. Let me do my best. In bhakti also, you are offering to the Lord, there is no anxiety, there is no expectation, there is no expectation of results. So karma and bhakti are used as tools to reach the point of meditation. When the anxiety of the mind is not there, there is expectations are not there, you are only offering, you are only giving and giving it up. Alright, it should not be used as escapism. So how is devotion connected to the body? The state of your mind is reflected in the body in turn is a reflection of the state of your mind. During prayer, fists and teeth are not clenched, mind and body are one. The very fact that you have love for the Lord shows that you have understood that you are only an instrument in His hands and He is taking over whatever you do. So therefore you do your best, leave the rest. You become calm. It is like when you get into a flight and you settle down, are you anxious? Who is going to be the pilot there? Do you know who is flying the aircraft? Do you? Are you anxious? Some people become very anxious, about that. So one lady went to the pilot right away and asked, how high you go? 30,000 feet. 30,000 feet? And you come down, right? He said, never I left anybody there so far. So in practical worldly things also, when you are going to a restaurant, you know that you are having food, you won't worry about who's cooking. Are you worried about who's cooking? So that faith and the belief that you have in the Lord makes you let go of all these anxieties. We believe in the pilot but not in God. What a wonderful thing. Huh? We believe in the pilot even though you don't never see it. And you are going 30,000 feet height, huh? Hanging from there without knowing what is happening. But we will only believe in God. What to say? So what is the step in disciplining body and the mind? Moderation in diet. Eat without creating unnecessary destruction to the living kingdom. Consume intelligent quantity. Discipline is neither denial nor suppression. It's moderation with calming the senses as its goal. Food should not excite your senses. It should not agitate your body. It should not disturb the living kingdom. It should not kill to eat. It should not disturb the ecology for this. So in essence, that our survival should not be at the cost of something else. Live and let live. And as he said, that sattvic food is that which we can create enough inner calmness. In Chandogya Upanishad, there are discussion on what happens to food when you eat. We'll not go into that, but food which is taken by you, either food, there are three categories they make. Raw, the food, oil and water, oil and air. These three categories. Food, that is earth, oil, the fire, and the water. These water, fire, earth. These are the three elements constitute our body mostly. So, there are everything that you eat, the three categories, they have a gross aspect of it, subtle aspect of it, and subtlemost aspect of it. So we need to recognize that, for example, water you take, the grossest part is going to become your urine. The subtle part of it will become your air. They have understood H2O. Oxygen is there. And the higher part of it, the water, the higher aspect of your water is the most subtle aspect of it. Prana. Energy. So also the gross food, physical food that we eat, grossest part becomes ficus. The middle part of it will become what you call muscles, fat, whatever you call. The subtlemost part of it is the mind. So the food that you eat also is going to see. If somebody takes a liquor, then what happens? Now, when that is also part of kind of food only, food in the sense that it's a consumed, but then what happens to that person's mind? One person was driving in one priest was going on a road. So this guy came out of the bar and told him, stopped him, wait, stop. In the middle of the road is who are you? The driver asked, the person who was going in a bike asked, who are you? So then Bhagavan. He looked at the bar, oh okay, understood. You came out of the bar, now I understood that. Why are you saying that you are the God? I am God, definitely. Okay, let me go. Who are you? Yes, I'm a priest. Where are you going? To the temple. Why? I want to do worship of God. I am God. Worship me. He said, you are drunk, let me go. No, I am God. You don't believe me? I will prove that I am God to you. He said, no, I am not interested, please let me go. No, you have to accept I am God, otherwise I won't leave you. No, I won't accept you as God. Then I will prove it to you. Hey, what should I do? Come with me to the bar. He said, no, I'm not coming to the bar. So he come up to the entrance. Okay. You drag him up to the entrance, open the door, and then bartender looked at him. Are Bhagavan, fir aa gaya. Oh Lord, he came again. See, I told you. Even the bartender knows that I am Bhagavan. So, when you have intoxicated, you lost your senses. What did you take? What did you take? Food. So the food has definite influence upon the physical body and also the mind. As I said the other day, yesterday, body is nothing but extension of the body only. Mind's extension is the body. Because body by itself cannot act, do anything. See, that is why when you are in the state of sleep and you have an agitating dream, then your body will sweat. Even though you are lying down comfortably on a bed, but you will sweat. Why? Mind has created the reality. So they are connected. Mind-body connection is very well known. So therefore, moderation in food is prescribed. Even in Gita, yukta ahara viharasya yukta jeshtasya karmasu yukta swapnavabodhasya yogo bhavati dukkha. A person who is moderate in food, in activities, in sleep, for him meditation becomes a means to destroy sorrow. What are the preliminary steps in meditation? Reducing thoughts through japa, repetition of the name of God, directing thoughts towards the Lord or the Self, choosing each thought, slowing down the flow of thoughts, having single thought and holding on it for a long time, observing silence within and without. In general, we don't choose our thoughts. Do you? Do you choose what thoughts should be there in your mind at any given point of time? And therefore, we immediately conclude that thoughts are coming from somewhere outside. Because if it's not me, then who else? One person said, that's my wife's only. She creates a lot of thoughts in her head. Nobody else other than you is creating the thoughts. But since we do not know the source of our thought, we think it is outside. In a way it is true, but we have to analyze it properly. For example, when you are again called for a party and the vada is there. So when you saw the vada, you thought about the vada. Correct or not? Until then, or you smelt the vada, let us say. You have not even seen it, but for today's break time, there is vada. I don't know whether it is there or not. So the smell created the thought of vada, right? Correct or not? How many of you have eaten vada in your life? You have? See, for her, the thought of vada would not come. Why it won't come? The point is, when I smell it, the thought of vada comes. For her, who had never experienced vada in her life, let us say, the thought of vada won't come. So, is the vada creating a thought in her head?
Now it is.
So, therefore, the vada is only a catalyst, not the cause. The original origin is vasana. The vasana for the vada is there, either negative or positive, that's a different thing. But the thought of that vada would come only when you have a pre-impressions about that. Otherwise it won't. So external world is only a catalyst, not the cause. It's only an agent, not the origin. Origin is our mind, our own inner being, cause, and that's why it's called causal body. Don't take it very casually. It's a causal body, not casual body. So, What does japa do? Japa makes you able to decide what you want to think. This is one thing which you have to effectively use. Otherwise, given to ourselves, our mind will go all over the place. From morning you get up till evening, it will run all over the place and create more and more impressions in our mind. Japa does two things. One, it will make you decide what thoughts you want to take in your mind. Second, it doesn't create impressions of the negative nature. When you take the name of the Lord and start chanting, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. That Vasudev Gupta, I gave him $100 last week. But that fellow has never given me back. My wife told me that fellow won't give that back. But no, poor thing, he asked for it and happened. So why you can go on Vasudev Gupta? But your intention is not to think about that fellow who $100 you gave. Your intention is to think about the Lord. So moment the thought goes to something else, you bring it back to Bhagavan. That's why external form of God is also very useful. So you bring it back. So as Sri Ramana Maharshi has said, that japa is a means to get rid of unwanted thoughts and hold on to a thought which is chosen by you. So it's a powerful tool. And such practice would help you to decide and think about what you want to think about and able to discard unwanted thinking. So japa is a very powerful means to quieten the mind, reduce thoughts and also focus. And when you start chanting and slowly you can reduce the number of thoughts and slowly increase the silence between two thoughts and more silence, less chanting, and finally you reach a state of observing silence for a longer period of time. That will help you to remove the objects from your mind and increase the awareness. So that's why I have given this acronym for meditation: mind engaged deeply in total awareness, transcending its own nature. Mind engaged deeply in total awareness, not about object awareness, not about feeling awareness, thought awareness, transcending, overcoming its own nature. Mind's own nature is to constantly bring in more and more thoughts. You're transcending that nature. So that is the nature of meditation. It's about total awareness, it's not an object awareness. That's why in the book I have given how to shift your attention from the canvas, from the picture to the canvas, to the eyes, to the thought, to the mind. You might have seen that portion. So how long should a practice of meditation should be? Gurudev very clearly said, don't make the meditation as a habit. Make it as a practice. It's called abhyasa, not swabhava. ध्यान को अभ्यास करना चाहिए, ध्यान को स्वभाव नहीं बनाओ. Don't make it as a habit. Difference between habit and practice is what? Practice is what you consciously do to improve. Habit is that you do unconsciously and not for any improvement. You have habit of drinking coffee, correct? You don't say, I am now practicing drinking coffee. You don't practice. Every day you do the same thing. There's nothing called practice there, it's just drinking. Whereas if you say, my child is having practice of dance, what does it mean? Every time she dances, hopefully she would improve what she does. Or the doctors practice medicine on us, which means, they tried many medicines on us. Every time they try new things on us. Or lawyers practice law on us, like that. Practice means that you consciously improve on. So meditation is an attempt to improve your inner deep depth of awareness, quietude and silence. When the thought river flows without interruption, it creates the idea that there is a powerful mind. When controlled, our thoughts reveal the inherent calmness. The goal is not to lengthen the mood of quietude, but to keep practicing so that depth of the silence can increase. It should be deeper than longer. So, mind, interestingly, let us look at understand between the nature of thought and mind. A thought is a relationship between the subject and an object. And subject remaining the same, object vary. For example, I am seeing you. I am seeing a person. So, the seer is me, the person is other than me, and there is a relationship. This subject I, in relationship with another thing other than itself called object, this relationship is called, the transaction between these two is called a thought. Be careful when I am explaining that, understand why I am doing this. Subject having a relationship with something other than itself as an object, and that is called thought. So every thought should have two aspects, subject and an object. So I am seeing a flower, I the subject and the flower is object. I hear a sound, sound is an object, I the subject. I taste, I the subject, that what I taste is the object. Tasting is what is the activity, similarly. So then when it comes to thinking, let us say I had a thought about something which happened yesterday. So I, the subject remaining the same, and object is the thought of the experience of yesterday. So in all these cases, you will find the subject remains the same. I, object change. It can be a flower, it can be a person, it can be a memory, it can be a sound, it can be a smell. It keeps on going like that. Vrittayastvaham vrittimashritaha vrittayo mano vidyaham mana. Bhagavan Ramana Maharshi said, understand, without the I, there cannot be any thought. The I is the central focus. Now, this flow of thoughts with respect to every object is continuously taking place. This continuous momentum appears to be mind. So mind is not a thing, mind is a happening. Like a river is flow of water, and river is not an object. If you say there is a river and the water is stagnant, can you call it as a river? Huh? No. A stagnant water is not river. A stagnant water may be a pond or may be a lake. River means it has movement. Similarly, mind means movement. So mind is not a thing, it is a happening, a phenomenon. Why I am saying this is that when we have constant movement of thoughts, it appears to be there is a thing called mind. It's like watching a movie. If I am taking a film in front of me and a lamp is there to project through the lens, it is projecting. When you are projecting a picture, it's a picture. When it starts moving, it's become movie. Movie is a movement. Otherwise, it's a stagnant picture. Similarly, in the state of sleep, please note, there is no movement. Only one thing you are thinking about, or one thing alone is there. I don't know. That's all it is. There is no object. That's the reason why when you wake up, you say, oh, what was I thinking? Nothing. Meaning there is no mind. Why? There's no object to think. Still, there is a thing called I don't know is going on there. It's very subtle. In the case of samadhi or a deeper state of meditation, an individual is not having any object to think about. Therefore, the thought flow is not taking place. Therefore, there is nothing called the mind, but there is no absence of the subject. The subject is present. So, how to bring about that is, when I am thinking about an object, there is subject and object, and the thought flow is going on like this. When the object is transferred to subject itself, I start thinking about the self, the subject itself, the thought will come to an end, awareness remains. In the case of sleep, we are not thinking about the subject, you are not reversing it. You are only flowing and object is absent. So thought is just flowing without any particular object to hold on to. I don't know anything. It's just going. It has no obstruction, therefore. Think about it. When in the meditation you are not flowing out, you are bringing that flow into yourself. So I am that. So bringing the subject and object together one. And so subject remains without any object. So that depth has to come. It has to become deeper and deeper and deeper and abiding in oneself. That is what is referred as the meditation. So what should one do while not in the seat of meditation? So here is where we talked about this subconscious, unconscious mind. Gurudev also did not elaborate on that because it is usually used in the psychology of Western psychology. In the conscious mind, everything is rational, everything is logical, which is what we learn as math and logic in schools and universities. But our subconscious mind is the seat of all emotions, all our vasanas, all our, all our emotions and deeper sense of fulfillment, etc., are happening in the subconscious mind. And this subconscious mind is what actually makes decisions, unfortunately. You go to a restaurant and you want to eat something, it is the subconscious mind wants dosa. Masala dosa. Fried masala dosa, at least 2.5 feet, filled with potato. Now, you know this one masala dosa is 1200 calories. Do you know that? Idli is 60 calories. Which one do you go for? Masala dosa. See, why it is so? Because subconscious mind demands it. That's what is tasty, that's what is filling, that's what is that. So subconscious mind is the seat of all feelings and emotions, influenced by the unconscious mind called vasanas, causal body. The causal body influences the subconscious mind, and subconscious mind influences the conscious mind. So in the waking state, we are in conscious mind. In dream state, we are in subconscious mind primarily, and in sleep state, unconscious mind. Now, during the time when we are interacting with the world also, we think we are logical, we are not. Most of our anger, most of our lust, passion, greed, jealousy, pride, everything comes from subconscious mind only. Because you are proud of something, and that pride is not actually a logical reasoning. Because anybody can be proud of what you have achieved. What you have achieved, somebody can also achieve, but I achieved it. Your selection of clothes that you wear or the kind of food that you eat, these are all from subconscious mind. There is no logic or reason behind this. So, to conclude here, so the unconscious mind is this vasana mind, vasana state, and subconscious mind is where it expresses in the form of demanding certain things from you or in the world. And logical mind or conscious mind definitely has the rationality, but we don't use it all the time. Therefore, which among these should be kept focused while engaging in daily life? The conscious mind. Become conscious of negative tendencies that arise as thoughts, replace them with positive values such as tranquility, love, compassion. This is where the adjustment can be done. You cannot directly access subconscious mind. It is like telling a child which is 3-year-old, about what is truth and what is false. Can the child understand? What is hot and cold, the child can understand, because you can feel it. Oh, this is cold, oh, this is hot. What is bitter and sweet, the child can understand. What is bad smell and good smell, the child can understand. What is soft and hard, the child can understand. Right? Now you tell the child about false and truth. It will take some time for the child to understand what is to speak truth and what is to speak false. It needs that growth. Right? And then you go to good and bad, right and wrong.